because it's about to die.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I have you guys on my phone, so if you want to ask questions, but I probably won't be able to get to them. So
I'll read it for you if you want.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, I used to be a Quake pro, right? So I used to play Quake FPS, and it was fun. And unfortunately, Quake kind of died as an esport, and so I'm trying to bring back like some sort of fun, fast-paced shooter game. There's other people doing it as well. Unreal are doing theirs. Lots of other people working on stuff as also, and I'm working on this one. So basically, I just loaded a map. You probably can notice it looks really bad because there's no artwork, no lighting. We've just kind of like shaded the blocks so you can see what's north, south, and all that crap. Do you have weapons bound here? Let me try and shoot some.
I bound them, I think.
Yeah, did you bind them as I said?
They're all the number keys.
All the number keys up to 9?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay. Rebind them. I used the starting weapons from Quake just as a reference to how the game should feel, but I'm not going to end up with Quake weapons. And I want to end up with 6 weapons.
Better than LOL.
Better than League of Legends.
1 vote.
Okay, what am I doing? I'm bind weapon 4. I need to be... Wait, what have I done? Bind weapon 1, weapon 3. That should be weapon 5. And then... Weapon 4 should be...
Are we coding this ourselves?
Yeah, you guys can code it yourselves if you want. And then bind 5. I think that might work. Let's test. Ah, shit. Weapon 9. That doesn't make any sense because I need 5. Oh god, bind 4 weapon. Oh, wait, what have I done?
Barries are
5, 7, and then 5, 9. And then I'd have to go into the script and see what these weapons are because I don't remember. I haven't worked on this for a little bit. Let me test.
Is the game open source?
Okay, the game will be. We're gonna do some stuff. All right, so there's no one to shoot against at the moment, right? Because it's just me.
I could go on the other computer if you want.
Yeah, we can do that later, maybe, and actually shoot each other. I need to find where's my rocket launcher. No. We've done no artwork. These particle effects we did ourselves, but they're not any good.
Daniel was saying to make the sounds, like he only did. He spent like 2 minutes on it.
Yeah, we actually do have sound as well, but we killed the sounds. I'm just going to do this manually.
Apparently, people are throwing money at the screen.
Bind to weapon 3. Okay. Bind 3 weapon 5, and then bind 4 weapon 7. This will make sense in a second. Oh, I just typed. That's good. Bind 5 weapon 9. Bind 6 weapon.
Mr. Fish asked, "Do you want someone to log online?"
Who?
This guy.
Oh yeah, there's actually, we've let like a small group of people play this, but you have to have my IP to connect to the server. Okay, I actually have rockets now. Okay, cool, that's fine. Okay, and I have implosion. Okay. Bind the attack 2. So if I get secondary fire now. Yeah, I got secondary fire. Okay, cool. Let's do bind B reverse. I'll show that as well. And then bind C bolt. Let me see if bolt works. Whoa, okay, that works, but it's not meant to be that way.
What's the art style like?
Okay, yeah. So let's go back to the beginning, right? So we're making an FPS game. It's meant to be kind of like 1v1, also team deathmatch, clan arena, free for all, anything you kind of want to do. The art style is meant to be something a little bit. Hopefully, I can get out of here and let's tab to. Wait, no, that's chit chat. No, that's not what I wanted. Okay, so here is a robot that we had done concept-wise. So basically, we were going to go with a really high-polished robot before, kind of like Iron Man meets Tron, but we wanted a little bit more personality. So this here is a robot, and this is a robot that essentially you control. You control this robot and you go into, say, a holodeck on a spaceship on Earth's orbit, and then you log into your robot, and this is a fanatic robot, and it comes with, obviously it has weapons, you can put logos on it, etc. The reason we actually had Danny Dem do this, he does a lot of Dota stuff, and he's doing our first robot for us. We've been trying to get a robot done for ages, but we just don't have any money, so we couldn't pay anybody, and we didn't want people to do stuff for free. I showed Danny Dem the game, he's like, let me make you a robot, and I'm like, okay. So literally he was like, this is cool. So Danny Dem designed it this way because essentially we wanted to go out with the game on Steam. So you'll be able to kind of slice this robot up. So when you go into the workshop, similar to how you get cosmetics for Dota 2, you'll be able to change the shoulders, the chassis, the actual barrels of the guns, and you'll be able to cosmetically only change your robot. We'll obviously want enough places for team colors to make sure people know what team you're on, etc. But this is essentially what one of the robots could look like. And I'm going to say one of the robots because there is going to be more than one robot. But that is kind of a centerpiece right now for what the robot looks like. If you want to talk about what maps can look like, well, the game runs, we have the standard of it kind of running as good as, say, Counter-Strike Go. Yeah. So if your PC can run Counter-Strike Go, it will be able to run this. The robot actually isn't meant to be like huge and bulky, kind of like Titanfall. It's quick. It's meant to be quick. It's just a replacement of what you normally got in like Unreal Tournament or Quake 3 because it's a quick game essentially, and it's the robots are the reason why its legs are like that because it's meant to move fast and it will have abilities. So, for example, artwork in terms of like we looked at stuff like this a lot, just for like if you're in a space deck, etc. But really the artwork can be what you want because each of the maps is a holodeck and it will actually kind of build out in front of you. So this isn't a good example of what the artwork's going to be like. Let's go back into the games. Now you've seen a robot. Pirate House, Torrent Online. Okay, Reborn. Running at 300 FPS right now. So, okay, let's go into the map, and I'll explain a little bit. We can do the map editor later as well. All right.
What game engine?
This is our own engine, and this is why it's taken a little while. The reason we did our own engine is because it feels fucking good. It doesn't feel shitty. It doesn't have really shitty mouse inputs, and we can make it really lightweight and focus on what's important for an FPS game. So yeah, we didn't want to do shitty kind of like if we knew Unreal Engine was going to be free and we were able to get in it earlier, we would have used probably the Unreal Engine. But even the Unreal Engine with scripts previously, the mouse input just felt bad and it felt laggy, and it had a high requirements in terms of like lots of dynamic lighting, which would like lag a lot of PCs in fights, and that's kind of no fun when you're in an FPS game. All right. So let's talk about the first robot. Right. So we have one robot that when we design robots, we're actually designing different classes of robots.
Hey, Reborn.
So essentially you'll have like multiple robots you'll have access to. So this robot, the reason that it will be unique is it will have unique physics. So for example, these physics do actually have strafe jumping in them, which is very quakey. But only one robot will have kind of strafe jumping in it. This will mean that when you play this robot and you want to do matchmaking versus other people, you can choose matchmaking to only fight against people that have the same robot class as you. So it's kind of like boxing, like heavy weight, medium weight, lightweight. etc. And this robot will have its own set of weapons. I've put in six weapons with secondary fire. They're not very good. I haven't finished the weapons yet for this robot. But essentially your starting weapon will be, this is a machine gun that you can't see. Secondary fire of that is a shotgun, which basically allows you to fight mid to long range, shotgun, close range. Your secondary one is, this kind of feels a little bit like a flat cannon right now, which I don't want it to do, but I do want it to be kind of like a more powerful version of a shotgun that has a travel over time. Secondary fire of this is you fire like two kind of bolts, if you can call them. We're using a rocket explosion. They're meant to bounce, and they're meant to have like a big radius, but with like small damage. So they're pretty good at, like, you know, in corridors, etc. But I need to change a lot of these weapons, currently the ones I've shown you, because they're pretty shitty right now. Unfortunately, you can't really get away without having a lightning gun-ish kind of weapon. I don't like it, but people are like, it's so good. But with one robot class, I can accept a lightning gun with secondary fire, kind of like feels like a plasma gun, because it is right now. But I need to change that. Next weapon, this is a rocket. I've kind of sped up the rocket speed compared to what you would normally get in FPS games, but what I've also done as well is add a dip on it. So when you fire it straight, it will actually have like a dip. So it means you have like a little bit more prediction in terms of how you're going to want to like use the rocket to fire and fight people. Of course, I've also upped the, in comparison to like any Quake game, I've upped the kind of explosion, not radius, but strength. So when you hit somebody, you really bounce them, which is a lot more fun. The secondary fire on this rocket is kind of cool. The first fire is an explosion right now. This is the only gun I'm actually happy with. All the others I dislike, and I'm going to work on those. The secondary fire actually is a straight kind of rocket. These won't be rockets as well. These will be like energy balls. But this will be like a straight energy ball. And when it hits, it actually causes an implosion. But the implosion radius is like almost twice as large as the explosion. And it sucks you in. So the idea is like if you walk into a room and you kind of see like two people fighting, you can fire an implosion rocket between them and then primary fire an explosion rocket. And then it'll suck them in and then it'll kick them. But also because it has a different kind of attribute to, in comparison to explosion, you can do cool stuff. So for example, implosion rocket, you're able to kind of like climb walls with it because you fire it and then it like sucks you up. So you can also jump, shoot it in front of you, and then it will kind of drag you across, which is nice. So you can use it down here. You can be like, yeah, fuck you. And that's the implosion. That's kind of powerful, so I have to consider how much damage it will do to you if you get hit by it. But yeah, and I think I need to change the speed of it to make it a little bit slower and maybe even make the radius larger, but I haven't tested it too much in multiplayer. We've played like 4 or 5 games with it in the house, but it's okay. And then the last weapon, maybe I bound it wrong. Yeah, last weapon, this is currently what was a railgun. And my secondary, you can't really play an FPS game without having something strong that shoots like instant. But the secondary fire to this, I've just created an explosion in front of you. But essentially what the explosion does, it's the secondary fire of this weapon and it creates like an explosion.
This is the most fun thing in the game.
It's an explosion in front of you. But when it hits people, it has like insane knockback. So if someone's in your face, like if Shane was on a character and kind of stood here, I would fucking knock him all the way back there. And because essentially the primary fire is like, okay, this is long range, you know, it's like whatever. And then you want to be able to like, when someone jumps down on you, you just fucking like blow them up and then the explosion will knock them back. This doesn't have any like self damage. You can't use it to jump because otherwise it would be insane. But these are the 6 weapons that I'm kind of playing with. I've only finalized somewhat the rocket idea. I don't like any of the others. Maybe the railgun plus the secondary fire is good. But the other thing that we're adding into this game outside of weapons, and this will be unique to robots. When I say robots, you can literally think to yourself, when I play a different robot, I'm playing a whole different game. Okay, so we've added skills, which are based off energy. So the reason I can only really have 6 weapons is because you're going to need some keybinds for skills. Okay, so some of the skills that we have, one of them is called reverse, which is you completely reverse your movement. So if I'm to jump down here, press B for reverse, I reverse my movement completely, which means I bounce all the way back up, even if I use it in midair, you know, which is really cool. But it's going to cost you energy. your energy will probably replenish like slowly, just like kind of tick up like a natural replenishment. You might be able to get pickups that give you a burst of energy. Also, I'm going to reward people with kills. Once you kill your opponent, you will get like energy back. So reverse is kind of nice for lots of different stuff. So for example, if let's say we go old school, we put a red armor down here, you're playing in a duel, and you actually want to take these stairs that I made really badly, and you kind of like, you got your, select our rocket launcher, you jump down, shoot a rocket, notice someone's there, you reverse back up. That's 50, 75 energy, maybe you have 100, but the fact that you used it means that, you know, you're not going to be able to use a lot of other energy moves. Kind of feels like a time lapse, but skills is something that I really want to bring into an FPS game. Glimpse. I actually do have teleport in this game as well. I've tested out a lot of shit. I have blink, but it fucks you up so bad right now because it has no animations and it's instant. I can't even remember what it's called, but I'll see if I can remember the name of it and I'll keybind it. Another energy
teleport,
thing,
I think it is.
Yeah, it might be. Another energy we have is kind of like a double jump, but it's meant to kind of be like a rocket, like jetpack push. In any Quake game, when you use a skill, when you have, or any FPS game, when you use a skill when you have momentum, it will always continue your momentum. So if you see reverse, this is a really clean skill because it just -1s your complete actions and sends you back the other way. But for the double jump, I've been playing around with it, and this is what feels the best right now, is actually I set your movement to 0, and then I burst you at a certain speed. So 550 units per second is what it's on. This actually allows you to kind of jump, change direction, and then use it as a kind of rocket burst. This is really shit for people like defraggers right now, because defraggers, if you're familiar with defragging, it's when you race on maps. You have like, say this is start area, and you have to get to the other side of the map, and it, you know, and when you get over the line, it gives you a score of your time. It's called defragging. They would hate this because they always want to keep their movement high, and then if they use it, you know, say for example, when I was dropping down there and I was going, say, 700 units per second, I use it and I do 550. So it's not good for them. So I need to figure out if I'm going to keep the skill, how I'm going to use it, and how it's going to play with the momentum of the characters. That's one of the other skills. I kind of want free skills for the robots. I do miss, this is my robot by the way, there's other robots in development with other gamers that are doing different movement, different weapons, different skills. The one thing I really miss is sliding, just because it allows you to have like slide around corners. It's a very Quake 4-ish thing, but whatever. I'll see if I can come up to that. So when I talk about these skills, you can imagine that I'm actually looking at doing some game modes or some robots. Let's say this is a medium robot, right? It has 6 weapons, it has 3 skills. Let's say we do a robot that has much different mechanics in terms of movement, you know, like air control, you know, something where you just literally you can just hold forward, press jump, move your mouse when you're in the air, and you control, and you kind of have like wings on the side of your robot, and you just literally, you're just like, you're going around like this, like a fucking snake, right? So this robot, let's say, for example, we just put on 3 weapons, right? And let's say we don't even keybind them. So shot 1 is a rocket, maybe it's straight instead of dipped. Shot 2 can be, for example, a railgun shot. So you have like a rocket and a railgun, and then maybe shot 3, you have a shotgun blast, right? So you have 3 keybinds that automatically shoot a weapon. You don't change them. It's just like, you know, you've got barrel 1, barrel 2, and then a shotgun. Shotgun, maybe when it hits somebody, it has like a slow effect on them. So you can like chase people with shotgun around corners, slow them down, use your rocket, use your rail, whatever. But then you could actually open up the ability, because you've removed certain weapons, you can actually have more skills. So you could add, for example, things like blink, you know, things like creating an illusion of yourself that turns into an AI that actually dodges and shoots your opponent, and then when you kill it, you're like, oh shit, I killed it, but it didn't do anything. And you can create this kind of different experience. So we'll probably end up creating 4 different robots over time, and each robot has to be unique. Each weapon has to be not unique from each robot, but when I design weapons, they need to have a purpose. I'm not overly keen on, for example, you know, the old way, which is railgun, lightning gun, and rocket launcher is the most powerful in terms of weapons. I quite like the idea of actually when you get a gun, it's just unique, but can still have the strength of the other weapons. So then we'll talk about maps a little bit. So this map has no artwork and it's created in blocks. What we're trying to do to allow people to make make maps really easily, and I can actually do this. Hopefully it saves your keybind, but let's just edit. Hang on, to make maps really easily, what we want to do is we want to create maps with blocks. Now, this doesn't mean that your map has to look really shit, like it's just for the fucking blocks. What it means is we've cut the map into blocks, okay? So, which is your flag? Okay, F is your flag key. So, let's say you want to make a map and you're shit, right? So you can literally just be shit at making maps. You can be like, okay, there's a menu system here, let's put like, I don't know, put a block in, and then we'll be like, okay, create a bit of a wall, blah, 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 just press buttons. This is really easy. And you should be able to like do stuff like copy, paste this, and there will be a menu system. And then you'll be able to set what the blocks actually have texture-wise on them. So imagine there's a library within the game, kind of within Steam, where you're creating this map, and you're like, I'm going to make a wall, just going to drop some blocks. Now I'm going to make that wall look like something. And you just go into a menu and you look at all the textures everyone from the community's made or uploaded. Textures we've done within Reborn, textures other people have done. So you can make this wall look like anything, and it won't have the lines between them. You know, it will look like
A waterfall.
it would just look like anybody's game. And because it's made in blocks, this is really simple in terms of collision and blah, 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 and whatever, right? Now, let's say you want to do something a little bit more advanced. Let's say we want to create a statue of Bruno. Someone's gone in and they've made a statue of Bruno. They've kind of done it as you normally make art, and they've put the statue of Bruno in the game. What will happen is that statue of Bruno will get broken up into blocks, and it will have its own textures. You know, so you might want to assign it like a stone texture or a marble texture or whatever texture you want Bruno's statue to be. And you'll drop it in game essentially pretty easily in the future. So you just click here, you go into the menu, and you drop a statue of Bruno. Once the statue of Bruno comes in, it might take up, let's say Bruno's really fucking big, it takes up this many blocks, and then that will be a statue of Bruno. Now, Bruno's statue will obviously be more complex than this block system. He'll have a head at the top, he'll have an arm doing a fist pump, and then he'll have another arm on his thing there, and his legs were down here. Now, the collision will be sorted out within the creation of the statue. So you'll still be able to shoot through his arms, you'll still be able to shoot through his legs, you'll still be able to jump, accordingly to him. And you'll be able to put in a statue that looks like a statue, but we'll make sure it's in blocks. This is also kind of cool for any person that makes maps, because whatever you see in anyone else's map, you will be able to copy. You know, if someone has like made something, you just be like, I know how that works because I can see how it is in blocks. He's used this block, this block, this block, these textures, these textures, these textures, and you can copy anyone's, area of the map that you want. So there will be, loads of different, blocks. We only have really simple ones here because we're lazy and we just put in like these. But you'll have an unlimited, when people create different shapes of blocks, you'll be able to have access to those as you wish. And we're trying to organize them properly. Okay, so you put in blocks, you make maps, that's really simple. You assign textures to the blocks. Okay, yeah. You can also, really simple stuff. We're kind of using static lighting for the maps currently. We're going to most likely use dynamic for like weapons and stuff. So you'll be able to just add like lights. So we can just do like add light here. Hopefully that worked. Yeah, there's a light here, which means we can, say we can set light and we can give it a color. This will be menu in the future, so we can just set it to, I think, red. Is that red?
Yep.
Oh wait, I need to put color in there. Whoops. Set light color.
Color without the U.
Yeah, I think we can kill
It's
the U.
American color.
Okay, and the light will show it's red. You can set the radius on this of how kind of bright it's going to be. You can also set what kind of light it's going to be in the future in terms of is it like a cone shape down? So in the menu system, you'll be able to go around the map, look at where you want to put your lights, and you'll be like, hey, here. And then of course you'll be able to set weapons in the future if you want to put weapons in, or set spawn points or teleporters or whatever. So I can just I can just click here and then just like add a spawn. So I set a spawn point here, so when people spawn, that's spawn number 16. And of course you can like move stuff, you know, you should be able to move really easily, but I'm just going to do it off command. So I'll move spawn underscore 16. So I'll just move the spawn. Same with the lights, same with whatever. You know, you can just, really simple to build maps is what we're going for. And then we can, when the lights and the spawns and everything's going, you can actually bake the map. Baking, because it's static, basically will render the lights, you know, the textures, all the shadows. What's it called when lights bounce?
Reflection.
Well, yeah, reflection, but like how lights interact with different materials and all this kind of stuff, right? So you'll be able to make this map look like anything you fucking want it to look like. You can literally, if there's artwork available, you can make it look as good as Counter-Strike Go. You know, no one will know it's basically shitty ass blocks. Okay, and then you'll be able to bake a map. So I'll bake this map here. I've got some lights in, which were from my old map, but I'll bake it. So you're creating a map and you need to bake it. Now this is a kind of a big map. I haven't bound bake, I just put bake on. But what I'm doing now is, yeah, it's just baking. Now you'll notice in the top right, it's set to 3 active threads. What that's actually done is, we're going to allow you guys to set how much performance you want your PC to actually handle within baking of the map. Which means if you want to work on the map while it's baking, you actually can. You can still fly around, you can like throw in a block, say here, and it will like take away, see the lighting that it was building, it will now re-render the lighting. And also because we've limited to threads, it actually has kind of like the same movement as you had before and same performance. Meaning that the map will bake around you while you can build it, and it can keep constantly baking. Now this is kind of a big map, it's going to take a little bit of a while, and you can see all the shadows, by the way, have been turned really far down, and we've turned everything down in terms of shadows, lighting, everything, just to play around, but this looks ass, I know, and there's, you know, lines in the blocks, because that's our texture, and these lights are just, I was testing F codes. But yeah, you'll be able to bake a map and you'll be able to just jump between fly mode and then like ground mode, so you can test the physics. So if you want to like test this jump, you're like, oh, okay, that jump's pretty good, or I'm going to push it a little bit further, blah, 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 blah. You know, you can edit while you bake. The thing that we're going to do for you guys is, what I want to do is add the ability to make maps in multiplayer. So when you create a map, you actually kind of create a server. People can join your map and actually can make maps with you. So let's say you've got like someone who's really good at architecture, someone who's really good at like tiling and texturing and making things look nice, and you've got someone who's really good at lights. You can all work together at the same time. But what we're also going to do is, because baking is taking me a long time, as you can see, we're actually, when you bake, when you're making multiplayer version of the map, it's going to take everyone's CPUs and actually use them to bake the map. Meaning if you're making a map with 3 people, it's potentially faster to bake and edit the map and, you know, work on it, because you're using everyone's computers to do all the processing. We're also going to add in the future an option where we're going to give a kind of a Twitch, a Reborn version, map editor version. So let's say I'm a map maker and I'm creating a map, and you guys are watching me on Twitch TV, and you're like, oh, this guy's really good at making maps, and you're giving me advice. Should I put something there? Maybe put the red armor here, or maybe put this power up here, or maybe, you know, make this room bigger and do this. You're actually going to be able to load a version of Reborn that will allow you to connect to the map maker's server as a spectator only. You won't be able to do any editing, but you'll be able to fly around his map and jump around it. You'll be invisible. And then you'll be able to jump around and, you know, kind of be in the map while he makes it. Now, the cool thing is, because that's an option, if the map editor is making a really crazy map of, you know, and he's gone for, you know, something really big in terms of like, he wants a really big team play map and he wants, you know, whatever crazy stuff, cliffs and shit. When he comes to bake the map, because you're in the client on his server, and there's 1,000 of you that are watching on Twitch TV, it will use 1,000 CPUs to help bake his map. So you'll be part of, you know, helping him create his map, or him or her create their map, because you'll be helping them. We should also talk though about if people are creating maps and what are they getting for this. Well, we kind of learned a lot from the Dota 2 in terms of how people like to contribute. So some things that we'll obviously sell in the game if we can get it to go free to play is you'll be able to buy cosmetics in terms of changing your weapons, maybe the sounds of them, the look of them, your robot skins and all this other stuff. But maps are one thing that we know people will probably want to create because they can create maybe their own, in the future, game modes. But to start with, maybe their own favorite 1v1 maps, 2v2 maps, CTF maps, or whatever game modes we decide to put in, which are never finalized until they're finalized. So if you're creating maps, what are you getting for it? Well, I tried to figure this out the best way, and basically, with anything cosmetic, I think that you can put no limit on how many people can purchase it. So if you want to buy the Fanatic robot, do you want to see the Fanatic robot?
Sure.
No, there's a Fanatic robot.
Oh, damn.
So if you want to buy a Fanatic robot, Fanatic are obviously going to get something for it, and unlimited people can buy it. Now, if we're going to do maps, the way that we want to do it is people who create artwork and allow it to be used by map creators are essentially creating something that can be reused if the artwork looks good. So this is obviously your statues of Bruno, your textures on the walls, and all your other stuff, and maybe set pieces that they create as well. So you're a map maker, you go in, you're not very good at art, but you're good at architecture. You're grabbing all this stuff from the, map making tool. You're putting other people's artwork on your walls and sponsor logos and, cameras in the corner and electronic stuff around, and it looks really cool and you're really happy. And then you're going to try and release your map. The way that we want to do it is we want to put new maps that the community make in the game, like once a month, at the beginning of the month per se, so everybody knows this month there's new maps. You guys can choose to play in matchmaking, new maps or, premium maps if they're in the game. And then when you play the maps, you rate them like 1 to 10 stars. And then at the end of the month, we'd be like, okay, these maps are good, right? So what we do is we say, okay, these maps can go into game. So we just say, if we've got a community of, say, 10,000 people, we say, okay, we can put these maps in for, say, like $1,000, which means the community will essentially kind of contribute to that map going into the game. And we'll try and give them something for it, whether it be social status on the map, like on the scoreboard, or maybe some items from, you purchase the map, you also get something from the workshop in terms of cosmetics, but you'll get something for it. And then when that map goes into the game for $1,000, everyone can now play it as part of the game. The person that made the map gets $500, say we keep $500 for making it possible, they get $500. And from those $500, because they used artwork from X different people, we also give a % to the people that they use the artwork from. So if you created a really nice texture that people will use on all their maps, if those maps get sold, that texture will create money for that person. As well as if you created a map, you have a limit, but the thing is, when you're selling maps, which hopefully, we'll make a lot of good maps ourselves, but if people really want to use other people's maps, then these people will get something for their time, which could be really good. I haven't figured out a better way in my head to kind of do that. Maybe there is a better way, but I'm not really sure as of yet. But yeah, we're trying to make it at least free to play so people can get out of it what they want. But I don't like holding back content that is kind of useful for the game. Holding back cosmetics and stuff's cool. Holding back content like a new map and how it plays is really unique. So if you hold that back, you're kind of holding back your game. But we have to somehow reward people as well. So I'm not sure how we're going to handle that problem, but that's my first idea of handling that problem. Don't know what else there is to talk about really. I mean, the thing is like, I put in some really weird colours, by the way.
It's funky.
Yeah, it's really dark over there, there's no lights. But you won't need colourful lights if the textures actually have colour on them. You'll probably end up using, white and slightly yellow lights. Now it looks like some sort of psychedelic thing.
Well, it makes justice to the term baking.
Yeah, it does. This is a picture of the world that we got from NASA. We're able to use it. Cost zero money.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. All right, so the one thing that I did well when I worked on Bloodline Champions was tournament systems. One thing you don't have yet in Bloodline Champions is the ability to play tournaments against in Dota 2 is play tournaments against other people. So let's say you have matchmaking. Your matchmaking's a ladder, but what if you took matchmaking from the ladder and then kind of put people in 64 bracket, 128 bracket, 256 bracket tournaments that run over an evening or maybe a month, or maybe 2 months, like satellite tournaments like poker. And if you put those in, people play in them, you give them rewards, cosmetics, titles, whatever they feel would make them feel like they fucking just won a tournament. We can do all that stuff. So yeah, it's really simple. And the cool thing is like, because we're doing multiple robots, we actually have games within games, and it's really the community that are going to push it forward with us. But yeah, it's pretty easy.
Have you talked about Wingman?
Oh yeah. So one of the game modes, which is a thread of interest that I'm trying to sort out, is a Wingman. I can't really go on to show you. I'll just reload this map so I can jump around. One of the things that no one's actually done properly is a Wingman experience in a multiplayer game, and this is something that I'm working on. I haven't got a Wingman in this.
What about Shootmania?
Shootmania was amazing. Okay, so what is Wingman? Let's say, for example, Fly and Notel, right, are awesome FPS gamers. Fly is fucking sick, right? He's sick at running around, he's got best movement, he's got like amazing aim, and he's a badass, yeah? That's Fly, right? Now let's say we add a Wingman. So what is a Wingman to Fly? Well, a Wingman can be a little robot like this big, right? And it does very unique stuff. And it's part of Fly's robot. There's kind of like, you know, Maverick and Goose. Fly is the controller. Notel is the little annoying robot. So the little annoying robot is called Wingman. So Wingman essentially will turn out something like this. Let's say, for example, Fly is here, right? And he wants to get over here, right? And he's like, and he knows someone's down there with like an easy shot, right? He needs to get over here, right? And Notel's his Wingman. So Notel is like, I've got 75 energy. I'm going to create an illusion of you. Notel will then press a key that creates an illusion. He will clone a version of the robot of Fly, have its own movement. He will jump out. The twat down there will shoot him, but then he'll be like, fuck, it was an illusion. And in his 1.5 seconds of reload, Fly will make the jump, and they get the power up, and they go win the game. And it will be fucking sick, because the Wingman used an ability that fooled the opponent. So a Wingman essentially is that. It's something that will give you a lot of unique gameplay and strategic advantages if played well. Wingman can do stuff like maybe create an illusion of you. Wingman can maybe even erect a wall, lack of better words. Maybe a Wingman can create a shield for a small period of time to reflect incoming damage. Maybe a Wingman can go into an RTS mode of the map and have a kind of a high sight and then actually like plant some stuff. Maybe a Wingman could look at an enemy and actually steal information. So if that enemy was picking up like 5 power-ups, and those have the power-ups will respawn, and the enemy team doesn't know exactly when they respawn, by Notel looking at the enemy, pressing a button to steal information, he can take the respawn timers of that robot that's picked up. So he knows, so then you'll have like on your HUD, you'll have like, this item comes up in 5 seconds, this in 10 seconds, this in 11 seconds, because Notel's decided the best option for his energy as a Wingman was to steal information from the opposing robot. Maybe the opposing robot actually used an ability prior to coming into an engagement that jams information steals for a smaller amount of energy, and Notel gets fucked. So the idea of Wingman is having someone with you that can fight with you that actually offers something completely different. There's always a possibility that this is going to feel bad depending on how we attach a Wingman. Maybe we give it its own movement. Maybe we give it a radius it has to be within Fly to actually be active. Maybe we attach it and have it have like its own 360 view. I'm not really sure. I need to play with those. They're kind of threads of interest, if we can call it that. Maybe the Wingman, in terms of having like a team game, you have one Wingman per 4 players. And that one Wingman can actually like swap the players it's attached to. So if one player is like got like a double damage, if you were playing, for example,
Professional Wingman.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's the thing. And also it will make the game really exciting to watch via Twitch TV, because you'll have 2 people playing and they'll constantly be talking about how they're going to synergize their efforts. You know, and you don't know, like maybe the Wingman can do damage as well with certain abilities.
And it's also like in Quake, right? You're counting the red armor and stuff. The Wingman maybe
Can-
doesn't have to move,
yeah,
as
can
you
do it
said.
for you.
Then he can do it for you.
I mean, hell, the wingman can watch your back when you're running down a
Yeah,
corridor.
yeah.
I can, maybe the wingman can shoot rockets out of midair. Yeah, who knows what the wingman's going to be able to do? It's kind of like I have to test everything because it's more off feeling than it is off design.
Yeah.
But the one thing I know is that each player has to be unique in what they can offer, kind of like how you design the weapons, and they need each other's synergy to obviously best perform and outperform their opponents. Yeah. So the wingman is something that, that's going to come a lot later, but it could be fun. But it also, I don't want it to be a necessity to play with a wingman, just because you might want to jump in and play a 1v1 or whatever, and you're like, oh, I need wingman. And the wingman has to be as fun and enjoyable. And if you remove movement from the wingman, I don't think they're going to enjoy it as much, because movement's one of the big things of an action FPS game. Oh, and by the way, I made this map in about maybe 2 hours. This map. It's okay. It's meant to be like an open map that you're able to shoot people on. There's no map design in this map. Normal maps you're meant to actually have kind of maybe a figure of 8 in terms of how it plays, and then the centerpiece is where people often fight. The centerpiece here is actually more here, so it's kind of off center. This is more center. And also you're meant to not have so many in map design, apparently. You're not meant to have so many like visible openings in terms of where you can shoot people. But I was like, fuck it. I don't know. Yeah, so I might release this version of the game after the TI4 qualifiers, and you guys can make your own maps. And maybe even if you want to, we're putting information on how you create textures for the walls and stuff. Maybe people want to already start making textures and whatever. You can.
Oh, look at the kid in camp.
Yeah.
What have they got?
A mouse.
I've got a mouse.
No, that's a ball. That's
No,
not
but they brought a mouse like just 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I heard growling.
And I made an explosion in the wall here. It's fucking awesome. With the limited shapes I have. It's like something exploded, dudes. But yeah, I'm not shooting anybody here because there's not.
Jump into space.
Huh?
Jump into space.
Oh my god.
What? It dies?
You need eyes.
Oh, it's eyes. Well, yeah, it's the best part of the mouse, right?
I don't know.
I tried.
Eyes?
Delicious mouse.
Oh, the other one. Oh, I need a picture of that kitty. I really need a picture of that
It
kitty.
looks like that thing.
He looks like the Beast of Antioch from Monty Python. The white rabbit.
Like
Yeah.
Let's go to camera. No, what the
Oh
fuck?
god.
Motherfucker.
Such delicious protein.
I don't know if there's any questions on Twitch because no one was taking
What?
it.
Fuck.
The tire gun.
Home.
Too tired. Yeah, I'm tired too.
Oh, there you are. Camera.
But this should be a really fun game. Like a good free-to-play FPS
Yeah,
game,
it's-
not a shit free-to-play
He
FPS
doesn't
game.
want people to come here.
And I'll see how open I can make it so you guys can actually have like maybe a physics editor, a map editor, and all that kind of stuff. Just because then you can make your own game modes. You know, can you put in your own objectives? Can you kind of do like what happened to Warcraft 3?
Bruno's playing with me.
That's Cat Killer.
Cat killer. Mouse destroyer.
Yeah, please.
But I think if you guys are interested in me actually finishing this game, I will probably do a bi-weekly show where I actually show the updates after TI qualifiers. I can give everybody a copy of this so you can jump around, get a feel of the physics. We're going to bind the physics to like Robot 1, Robot 2, Robot 3 so you'll know what you're playing with when you have the physics. Then you can decide when you make maps what it's going to feel like. Obviously, you know, in the future you'll get more different shapes and different other stuff that you can play with rather than just the ass that we have now. And then, oops, yeah, need to make that one higher. He gets stuck there if you jump too fast. Do that. Yeah, and I do really want to be able to take some donations in the future. I'm not too keen on Kickstarter because Kickstarter's kind of like mainstream, and I want to keep this kind of underground until we get big enough. So if I do donations, we'll probably set like a donation limit, or if you donate, we're when the game's done, we'll give you something extra. But yeah, we've raised $15,000. We haven't spent a penny on this yet, apart from my own pocket money, which is kind of paying for rent and food for some people that have worked on it. But if we've got $15,000, which will be going a lot on artwork and animations, mainly animations and particle effects. I could finish this game for so cheap. Like I could probably get this whole game done for about $50,000, and then see if I can get it on Steam and see if it's fun to play. But if I do a show every 2 weeks, you guys can actually join and give us the feedback, and you can play the game while I'm making it. So you can actually be like, this feels shit, this feels good. You know, this robot doesn't, like it's too hard to learn the controls and the physics, and I'll be like, oh, okay, let's see if we can work on that. And then, yeah, we can, yeah. I know it's not Dota, but it's really fun. I enjoy jumping around on it as well. It's really
People are asking stuff, I don't know if you care.
Yeah, I'll take questions.
They're asking who's making the game?
It's me and one other guy right now. The one other guy, we called him Fire Frog in homage to Ice Frog. Should have been Fire Toad maybe, but it's Fire Frog. He's the coder that did all the engine, and he's really, really good. You know, we're not going to say we're amazing at like, you know, security and all this other stuff. So if you want to hack the shit out of the game when it comes out, you probably will be able to. But we're just, yeah, we can make stuff work.
What language is it coded in?
C++.
C++. Is it going to be open source? The answer is no.
The answer is no, yeah. We will make it available though for Windows and Linux first, and then Mac later. If we get Mac done on time, great, but it takes a little bit more work.
They're saying, are there any like job offers?
Job offers?
People interested in working for the game?
We have no money, so if you want to help, the things that we need help on are basically artwork, animations, particle effects, sound, everything artsy, everything in terms of tech and code. Firefrog wants to handle himself, including not only the gameplay, but with all the features that I've designed, which are tournament systems, you know, social systems, matchmaking, everything outside the game. We're a one coder army right now until Firefrog decides that he wants more help, and then that's up to him. But any artwork that you want to do in the future, if you get hold of the Reborn EXE, you're able to submit it as long as you say you can use it. That's great. If you say you don't want us to use it or you want something for it, just, you know, tell me and I'll see what other options I can make available for masses of people that, you know, want something for their work. Because you might want to like create artwork for it now that gets sold in the shop. And not be available to everybody, or be available to everybody but gets sold, and then that way we'd probably have to pay you for your artwork, and then the community, you'd be listed under, you know, community-made artwork or community-made stuff that people can use.
Motherfucker.
What?
Yeah,
That's like
me too.
I'll get better.
It's a good feeling.
Yeah.
Will there be hats?
HUDs, yes.
No hats.
Hats.
Oh, hats. Cosmetics are cosmetics. I don't know.
So yeah.
Yes, many hats.
People are saying, when will we be able to create our own maps? Some people are like professional map designers here.
You can create your own maps email me, and I will give an EXE out at the end of the TI4 qualifiers, and you literally can jump in and start making maps. I have to make a video with the commands, and then on each 2 weeks of a Reborn show, I need to update you on the changes and have a change log. And then, you know, because there'll be new things you'll be able to do with map creation in terms of we did this, we added this menu, and all that kind of stuff. But if you're good at making maps, or you're at university and you're, you know, part of a, you know, you're at school for learning how to do anything, art, maps, design, you're more than welcome to give any kind of feedback. Because you can even like play with your own and design your own weapons in this as well. If I go outside into the Reborn folder, if I load, say, scripts,
People are asking for your email as well.
Yeah, that's james@2gd.me. So let's say I open up base weapons. I want
Just
to
open and then change.
So for example, if you want to design your own weapons, you can actually kind of load up this. So this is just some of the variables we have for weapons, but we keep them local just for design purposes now. So for example, I can go into, say, the rocket implosion, and I can set, say, the knockback to, I don't know, 100. I can change what particle effect it uses, what sound it uses. Does it bounce? Yes, no. Implosion? Yes, no. What's the cooldown of it? And we even have cooldowns from different weapons. So certain guns will have maybe better combination with other weapons based on what they are. So you'll be able to control that. What's the rate? What's the speed of the weapon? And you'll be able to change everything. So when we add all the variables in for the guns, you could actually design your own weapons. And if you design your own weapons and you're like, James, I made this weapon, it feels really fun, and send me the information on the Reborn show, I'll be like, that's a fucking cool gun, and I'll steal it from you. And then you'll get nothing for it. I'll maybe name it after you.
Some people, I guess, CSGO players, is why does the game feel so fast?
The game feels fast because this robot has fast physics. But this also runs at, the FPS, it runs at 250. We made it run at 250, just because 250 makes it feel so much smoother than 100
You're talking FPS, of course.
Yeah, FPS, yeah. But this actually runs at really high FPS. I don't know if I can do show FPS. I don't even know what the command is for show.
Maybe. FPS on description.
No, let's see if there's FPS commands. Whoops. Yeah, if we decide to do a slower version of robots and weapons in the future and want to go into something like Counter-Strikey Call of Duty feeling, yes we can, but with that genre of game is really healthy. Yes, we could make the walk and the run and the duck and actually have kind of like weapons that act exactly like weapons. You can put reload on them, spread. We already have that in there. It's not hard to do weapons. But if we were going to do that, we'd just be attacking the CSGO community and the COD community. We don't really need to do that right now because that's a really healthy community. The unhealthy community is the old school action FPS games.
This is an interesting question. How are inputs handled for straight jumping, circle jumping, or air control? How is momentum handled?
Well, that's a question more for Firefrog. You have the ability to edit the physics. So when we put physics in, this is actually like a recoded version of strafe jumping from Quake 3. So it's not Quake 3 code for strafe jumping, but it works pretty much the same way. Actually, it works better because it's more awesome. Circle jumping is already in there, but these are advanced kind of gameplay mechanics that aren't necessarily what people want. So we've also added in different movements and physics for different robots that allow simpler movement but still fun gameplay. When you get the editor, you will also be able to play with the physics. It's pretty easy to edit physics. We've bound the physics to be like robot specific, and then you can create your own robot physics, and you'll be able to like play with your own like speeds and all that other stuff. But we have like air control and everything in there. Like if I wanted to make this CPM movement or Quake World movement, yeah, it's just a matter of typing in some variables and removing, the strafe jumping that's in there. So yeah, it's it's still code end, but you have access to it if you wanted to play with that. Of course, I'm not saying if you play with that, it's going to get in game, but you're more than welcome to mess around. We will give you 2 physics of 2 robots to start with. So when you create maps, you'll be able to know just how far the jumps are and what the feeling of the gameplay is. Like even this physics isn't newbie friendly. This is pretty like being able to do this jump, like straight jumping or circle jump. Like if I do a straight jump, you probably won't make it like that. But if you actually do a circle jump, you'll be able to like hopefully make it once I can get the fuck up there.
Someone's asking if Sujo is Firefrog.
Sujo is not Firefrog. He's too much of a dumbass.
And someone is asking if there is going to be target maps or like maps where the objective are not killing each other, but rather shooting at stuff in the lowest time possible.
Yeah. Yeah, we're also focusing as well. One of the modes we want to release is defrag. So we can do stuff where you just have objects to shoot and you have like a time trial. If within map, when you guys have ideas of like, this is cool, as long as we code it, like, you know, we want a teleport, we want jump pads, we want this, we want this, we want a target, and when we hit it, we get a score point on our HUD. And once we kill all targets, the map's over and we get a final score. We can add that all in code, and once it's added in code, we add it to the map creator, and then you can create a map and put in targets, and then you can do that. And as I mentioned, one of the first modes that we're probably going to add is just defrag, because a lot of action FPS, the one thing that's really fun about it is movement. So we'll allow people to create defrag maps, which is basically where you race a map. And that will be really dependent on the physics that you have to make it fun. You know, you also see a lot of rocket jumps and weapons that help you and other stuff, but yeah.
People are absorbed at your ability to keep running and jumping for 1 hour straight.
Yeah, but it's really fun.
What else?
You know you have a good FPS game when you have a lot of fun jumping around.
Someone said, is it going to feel fast regardless? I'm someone who played a lot of Q3, Quake 3, and I miss speed being a skill type thing.
You'll have robots. Each one will be unique. We're probably going to add gameplay faster than you're used to from Quake 3, which will be a lightweight robot. But yeah, that will be one of the robots you'll be greeted with in your robot hangar. And then you can skin it up and make it look awesome, give it the skins that you want, and maybe even have your own personalized particle effects and stuff.
What do you think about Unreal Tournament 4 and their community-based creation system?
I don't know. Like UT4, it's kind of cool. It's got a big name, but I don't trust, the designers to make an actual competitive game. I mean, you have to make a fun game first, and then it becomes competitive. But I don't know. I don't trust. I'd rather trust Quake pros and FPS pros that I know that have been helping me, like Fox and Faz, and also a community that isn't just happy that Unreal Tournament's getting remade. Because if you were happy with Unreal Tournament as a competitive game, you weren't much of a gamer. If you were happy with Unreal Tournament because it was fun, yeah, that's fine, because it was fun. But it certainly wasn't top notch.
Will there be huge maps for a lot of players to play with at the same time?
Yeah.
Are you planning about doing some AI for this?
Yeah, we have bots as well, like already in. But we're not planning on doing stuff like AI where you're kind of like, this robot does this and says this, like stuff that you get in the Unreal Engine is like, you walk over here, there's a trigger, and then this door goes up, and then things run out. This is multiplayer only, so we're not actually adding those elements of single player AI interaction. We can still add like map interaction, but not with AI. You'll pretty much be fighting against other people.
Lots of people asking, is there concussion grenades? You plan to put concussion grenades?
Concussion grenades?
Yeah.
What are they?
Stun grenade,
Stun grenade?
something like that.
Yeah, you can add. Let's see. Trouble is with grenades, a lot of the times, is they just
It makes
spam.
it campy.
Yeah, spam.
Like
camping.
I was really shit at Quake 3.
But you spam grenades.
Yeah,
you
I
run
could
backwards.
like spam grenades and just shut down the corridor. No one can get in without taking massive damage.
I mean, I still have to work a lot on weapons to make them feel unique, and this is just one robot's weapons. How the others are going to interact, I'm not sure.
Someone's asking, how about cheaters? Are you going to do much of the stuff server side?
Yeah, we've got a nice way to handle the cheat system that's actually kind of cost effective for a very small company, if you can call us that. But probably won't tell you how we're going to handle it, because then people might be able to abuse it.
Bad. Security through obscurity is bad.
Yeah.
You should tell them.
Well, I don't know exactly.
Well,
'cause
exactly.
it's-
You can't tell them now, but you should tell them in the past, because the whole idea of we won't tell you so you won't find out doesn't work.
Okay. Well, Firefrog had some pretty nice ideas.
Yep.
So, yes, we will work on that.
Yes.
Like people cheating.
Same for people asking about collision detection going to be client or server side. Same answer.
Yeah.
How do Have you asked Val for help in this? It would be cool.
No, I haven't asked Val for help. I mean, I had a meeting with like Eric Johnson, and he was like, "What do you want to do?" And I was like, "I want to make my video game." And Eric Johnson's, he basically gave me advice was, you should probably work more on Dota 2 to make more money to fund your video game. And I was like, that's pretty good advice.
And here we are.
And here we are on a Dota 2 stream,
Yep.
pimping Reborn.
Probably nobody meant.
Will there be matchmaking in this game?
Yeah, of course. And there'll be tournament systems as well. That's one of the first things you'll be met with. Not only will you be able to matchmake in ladders, you'll be able to enter a tournament of your skill level, go through the tournament in terms of double limb brackets or single limb brackets. You'll have 10-minute, 15-minute matches. You win them, you move on. When you get to the end of your tournament, you actually get like maybe titles, maybe special weapons or skins, weapons cosmetically, not power, or skins that will actually be like, I won a tournament, motherfuckers, suck my dick. And then and other people will be like, holy shit, this guy's awesome. And you'll be able to like spectate the tournaments, kind of like Dota TV, yeah, all that kind of stuff. And these are really easy things to do. With somebody who coded, we did the whole Bloodline Champions tournament system in 2 weeks. And that tournament system kept that game alive despite the best efforts from a publisher.
People asking if there are going to be custom hats and custom announcers.
Yep, custom HUDs definitely. The cool thing is like when we actually allow like custom HUDs, pro gamers will probably end up using their custom HUDs and being like, this is how I had my HUD because it makes sense for me. You guys will be able to go on their profile, get their HUD. Awesome. HUDs are going to be really important in this game because it tells you the information that you have when you play, which is huge in FPS because it's really fast. And then announcers, yeah. Like it's always, you never want a game where you don't have like fucking mega kills. That's probably the best thing a Mill tournament did.
Will there be power-ups and items?
Yeah, in different game modes.
Items that you pick up, no items that you...
I also think there's there will be. It depends on the game mode. It's like, there's also the ability of like, say for example, this gun here, let's go to Railgun. This is really fucking boring weapon, right? Because it's point and click, it's really nice if you hit, but why don't we give you the ability to kind of earn a power up rather than pick up? So let's say that every time you hit a railgun, or whatever this gun is, not a railgun, it's software. Every time you hit this weapon, next time you hit it consecutively, it does 25 more damage, say. So if you hit like 4 in a row, maybe it does like 200 damage per shot. So you actually have pretty much earned yourself like a double damage, but when you miss a shot, this will depower and become normal. So you actually earn your imbalanced. So the better you are, maybe the more awesome you can play. Same with like when you kill more people, you'll have like more sustainable energy by killing people, and then you'll be able to be more acrobatic using reverse or using kind of double jump or wall slides, wall jumps, whatever we seem fit for the robot when we put in. But power-ups will be different gameplay mods. We'll probably have them somewhere.
Have you thought about implementing grappling hook and pendulum mechanics?
Grappling hook could be okay, but we thought about it and we're not really going for a grappling hook right now. But it depends. Like, not right now. Like, I didn't like the idea.
Okay, this is a long question, but the short version is, this looks a lot like lots of other games. If you had to say what is new about this compared to other games.
What is new? Does this look like other games?
Apparently for people.
Okay. What is new? Well, multiple game modes, which is meant to be good for an action FPS because they force you down one route. Tournament systems are new. People still don't do those. Gameplay mechanics, probably the Wingman will be a new experience that you haven't had before. But also I think this will be the first game actually made by ex-pro gamers who played their game. So in terms of new, I don't know. It depends what we come up with at the end. Nothing's really finalized, but...
People are asking if network code is done already. Answer is yes, you can play already.
Yeah, we have multiplayer. If you get a copy of this, you can have someone play with you. We haven't obviously done servers, so the network code is kind of client side right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that when you see somebody and they run round a corridor and you hit them, if you see them, you can hit them because it's client side. Now they might think they're around a corridor and you know, they don't see you and they get hit. That's the only downside, but this is only just for testing purposes of multiplayer.
You just crawl on the wall.
I
They
flew.
can fly.
I had like
Oh,
a toggle
you
fly.
clicked no flip
Yeah.
button. I see.
Have you thought about having melee weapons?
Yeah, one of the melee weapons I wanted was the explosion on the railgun. I put it on the railgun right now, even though it's not a railgun because it's software's weapon. But there might be an option of actually having an energy skill, which is like more of a melee idea of an attack. Whether or not it's going to be a weapon, I'm not sure. It really depends, because the thing is, you can't have too many keybinds in a fast-paced game. So, yeah, I'm not sure yet.
Are there gonna be headshots?
Currently, no. Game's too fast for headshots. And the server code as well, when it gets server coded, it might be pretty shitty. And also, it's a fucking robot, doesn't have a head.
This is an important question. Will there be a robot model on Bruno's image?
All the target dummies will be modelled after Bruno.
Damn, people will shoot at me.
So if you want to go to practice, you can shoot Bruno.
we're actually the same team, the Russian.
Damn.
Yeah.
Will there be a minimap or radar? This is actually lots of good questions.
Minimap
Or radar.
or radar?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Normally you don't have them, but it depends on if it's a team game or something else. Like, yeah.
Pansy is here and it's like, anyone knows if the movement is more like CPM or VQ3?
This is currently VQ3, but there's different robots with their own movement. One of the robots will feel like a VQ3. Essentially what I'm doing with the VQ robot is giving a big fuck you to id Software for making not maybe id Software, but ZeniMax or whoever the fuck decided that Quake Live didn't need any work apart from like 3 people on it. And you'll be able to play something that probably feels slightly similar, but coded differently so I can't get taken to court. And yeah, and with tournament systems and features that actually matter to games rather than whatever the fuck they're doing over there. Even though I like Sinclair, he's awesome.
Are there surfing physics like in CS and Q2?
Surfing physics?
I don't know.
So you can like slide on a wall.
Oh
you
yeah,
know, like
we
surf.
have like wall slide and sliding, but I haven't enabled them. I don't know.
What
Remember
about
how.
bunny hopping?
Bunny hopping is one of the movements we have, which is just air acceleration. Air acceleration basically means while you're jumping, just by moving in the air, you can gain speed, and you can just keep jumping and moving. You end up kind of bouncing like this, and you go really fast. But that's more of a Quake World CPM thing. But there's no like set rule of what we're going to have by the end of it. We can design it and show you guys. If people who are interested, like you give us feedback, that's the best feedback we can have.
Will having separate modes divide the community?
Yeah, it will. But at the same time, I kind of want to allow people to play what they want to play. There's only one way around that, which is either I create one game mode which is fucking perfect, really easy to play, really fun, strategically, really hype in terms of weapons and fights, and that's your game mode. And then I say everything else is a mod. You know, you created a mod, and there's a mod section, right? Now people can go do that if they want to, and that will be kind of Warcraft 3 versus Dota 2, or I can actually maybe release the first robot which is more friendly to new FPS players, and then the people that are craving something more later on, once we've done significant enough testing to be like, this is a really solid gameplay robot, release a second one, and then people will be greeted at kind of in a staggered way. So those who want to find more or want different can do it, but otherwise people might stick with the main mode. But I'm not scared about segmenting the community. I'd rather people have a choice of what they want to play.
Someone's asking like so many times already. Will we have different type of damage like pure magic or physical? I don't think that's the right idea.
Actually, it's not even that bad of an idea. Because I was thinking like maybe with some of the weapons we actually have it kind of like maybe fire, ice and stuff. So when you use different abilities on your shotgun, maybe the ice will slow people. Maybe the fire will put a dot over time. It's something that is going to be tested, but I'm not like jumping at the to test it. But also if the robots are made of metal and also have energy, maybe there's the ability of kind of like a gauze rifle from MechWarrior, which will penetrate armor more than it will energy. But yeah, who knows? Yeah, it's
Mingles is in the table eating shit.
yeah. Mingles is going to have.
No. She's eating shit in the table. Like Scriff, take a look. Screw.
I'm out of fucks, Bruno.
Hey. Effects.
I've tried to stop them too much. I don't care anymore. They
What's up?
just keep going back.
You said dot over time.
Huh?
You said dot
Dot
over
over
time.
time. Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry.
Damage over time. It's over time squared. So yeah.
This map's awesome, by the way.
Rip in peace, Bruno.
I stole half this map and then threw it out. I actually have to finish over here. This side's really shit.
Will the competitive mode focus on 1v1 or team games?
Both. I think 1v1 or 1v1 plus Wingman, like, which is 2v2, will probably make it to the esports circuit. It's really up to me to support what I want with it in esports. So we're actually planning to do our first tournament in November, which will probably be a 4-man tournament at the house with 4 professional gamers. And we might not even have artwork by that time, but we want to see how people are going to play against each other. Because we're at the stage where now we can just put in, you know, we can put in items and just like make it run around. But yeah, but we have no artwork still, which would be great.
I think this is enough questions from
Yeah.
people are starting to ask the same things again. But yeah, if you have any other questions, we will probably be answering them soon.
Reinforce YouTube this shit.
Reinforce is
put
like wetting his pants so bad.
Yeah, but YouTube this shit, Reinforce, and upload on the good studio.
But yeah, I'm going to ask, when I get the Reborn show going, we will have a donation going for it. Anybody who donates, we get you something in the game. But you'll also get a copy of what we're working on. So you'll be able to have a Reborn EXE. The thing about the Reborn EXE is because there's no like login and password. If we give it to somebody, if we say, if you donate, we give you a Reborn EXE and you can help us, you know, play the game and you can whatever. It's like, well, since you can just give someone else that Reborn EXE and there's no login, anyone can
But
use it.
Cyberman is asking, what's stopping you putting these on Steam Greenlight right now so you can get access for publishing on Steam when needed?
I don't know. I'm not that smart. I'm using reverse, by the way, which is awesome.
Someone answer for you. Greenlight is too mainstream.
Yeah. Well, the thing, I don't want to do Kickstarter yet. I want to build this game with the core community that actually want to play it off donations. And then if we actually lack money and you guys want us to do like additional features and, you know, because I don't want to, we can put it on Kickstarter for the mainstream and then we can be like, fuck you, Unreal Tournament, our game's better. And everyone will be like, sweet, there's a fight going on. And I'll contact all the people and like PC Gamer and I'll be like, Unreal Tournament suck, they don't have to make games anymore.
Rip Mingle.
No, whoa.
So fast!
No, I hit a wall. Everybody was kung fu fighting. Jump!
Time to slip. You can have the sofa if you want, bro.
What?
You can have the sofa.
I'm pretty enough here.
Have you seen this? What's his face? Chris something. Comedian. I don't know.
What?
What's it called?
What's his face comedian?
Chris something.
Rock?
Chris Rock. Yeah. Have you seen his stand up?
Yeah.
You know what I'm doing?
No.
It's good.
It's when his mother throws it. Because you can hear them around the corner doing bad shit. Stop doing bad shit, bro. What's up, Shay?
I can't
Huh?
couldn't buy a commander. Come help me. Try.
I'm going to bed. I'm up in 2 hours.
What are you doing, Shane?
I tried to buy a commander. It's not letting me.
What does it say?
Error.
Are you trying to use your card?
No. I have money in my...
And I'm going to do a Super Smash Brothers when you're on the fucking roof and you shoot each other off with the super powerful weapon of doom that we created.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Full battery. You need your servers.
Dude, I'm IT crowd.
What do you think about tribes, James?
Tribes is cool, but you know, tribes is tribes. It's cool, but it's I don't know, it's okay. Like, let me focus on getting something right first before I attack other people's games that weren't as good as they could have been.
I don't have the YouTube info, rifle, so you have to keep trying with James or trans.
Nope. Yeah. Put it down to 3 jumps. Come on, motherfucker. 2. No, that's 3. No, I will press backwards. I lost speed.
Oh, Chinese casters invited to TI4 have been announced. 2009, A20, Haital, BBC, Haibara, Zhou, Dippo, and Longili. Xiao Tian,
No.
Mick, Nekomata, Mu, Miao, Suya Jing. I hope I said that one.
Easy shit, bro. Game of life, brethren.
Are you invited to TI4, James?
No.
Damn, me neither.
Good. Fine. Email me at james@2gd.me.
Yeah, send him kinky pictures. If you send penises, you get more chances to get a Reborn copy. Also,
I can do it after TI4, but like, you know, you guys, if anybody wants to help in terms of like donations, it can be like $1, $2. I'll set something up in the future because it actually is really helpful. But yeah, we have the engine. We just need to finalize what we want to do with everything, and then all the features outside. It's pretty simple, easy mode.
easy mode, easy money, easy life.
Yeah. Hopefully this model gets done within, I think, 3 weeks.
Yeah, you should
This
get
is-
credit for the model.
This is Danny Den.
Yeah.
Who concepted this up. Right. I'm done. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that.
Bye bye.
It's nice talking about it.
It shows.
Huh?
It shows.
I like just